On this week's edition of The Overtime, we recap Super Bowl 59. Then, we review the Phoenix Open. And finally, we reveal Devin Booker's new Flagstaff shoes. All that and more on this edition of The Overtime. Hello and welcome to The Overtime, Northern Arizona's only sports show. I'm your host, Alyssa Munoz, and today I'm joined by sports reporter Lydia Schwieters.
We are so excited to be back in the studio.
Lydia, let's talk about Super Bowl 59. What a game it was. What was your favorite part of this year's Super Bowl?
I have to say my favorite part was Cooper DeJean's pick six. What about you?
My favorite part had to be Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. He did phenomenal. The Philadelphia Eagles dismantled the Chiefs' shot at a three-peat in New Orleans for the big game. The Eagles got their revenge in a rematch of 2023's Super Bowl and snagged their second championship in franchise history. The Big Easy came to life this past Sunday as New Orleans hosted Super Bowl 59 at the Superdome. The Eagles flew past the Chiefs with a 40-22 victory. Super Bowl MVP and Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts spoke on his team's resilience.
It's been a long journey. It's been a journey of ups and downs and highs and lows, and I've always stayed true to it in the end, and having this vision of just being the best that I can be, and that evolving over time into this desire and this flame inside to win. And you don't do great things without the guys around you.
The Eagles drew first blood with Hurts crossing the goal line early in the first quarter. They kept rolling going into the second quarter with a pick six from rookie Cooper DeJean on his 22nd birthday. Philadelphia was dominant all first half and took a 24-0 lead into the break. Head coach Nick Sirianni echoed his quarterback on his team's ability to turn losses into lessons.
I think at the end of the day, you saw this team embrace adversity throughout the entire year. Now, it's hard to say that when you won 16 out of your last 17, but there was adversity. There's adversity constantly.
Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes struggled against the Eagles' strong defense, getting sacked 6 times throughout the game. The Chiefs managed to score a touchdown with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third quarter, cutting the deficit to 34-6.
I was proud of how my team fought this entire season with the expectations that we had on us, but we came up short, and so now it's how you respond.
However, the Chiefs were no match for this Eagles team, with them coming out victorious. The last time the two teams met in the Super Bowl was in Arizona in 2023, where the Chiefs claimed the Lombardi Trophy. Now, it has found a new home with the Philadelphia Eagles. Alyssa Munoz, NAZ Sports.
Before becoming NAU's head football coach, Brian Wright coached at Pittsburgh State in Kansas, just about 2 hours from Kansas City. Coach Wright says he has learned a lot from the Chiefs offensively and even attended clinics that encapsulated their work ethic.
I was a big fan of the organization. I had the opportunity to go up and see 2 mini camp practices and was very impressed. One of those was in the month of June, and you certainly found out pretty quickly what kind of team and organization they are by just how hard they practiced and how hard they coached in the month of June.
It looks like the Chiefs will have to go back to the drawing board to make it back to the next Super Bowl stage. Austin, you were at a large stage this weekend in Phoenix. How was the Phoenix Open?
Thanks, Alyssa. The WM Phoenix Open was in full swing over the weekend, with the best golfers in the world meeting up in Scottsdale with the chance to win one of the most prestigious tournaments on the PGA Tour. Golfers that came to Arizona involved Scottie Scheffler, Justin Thomas, and champion Thomas Dietrich. Thomas Dietrich won the WM Phoenix Open by posting a score of 24 under par to notch the Crystal Thunderbird. Dietrich entered the final day 5 strokes ahead of the next player.
Confidence was high because I was playing great golf. Confidence was high. I was driving well and putting well. Usually that's kind of the magic formula, especially for me. Every time I drive it well and putt well.
Dietrich posted his best round on the final day, going 7 under par to become the first golfer from Belgium to win a PGA Tour event. Thomas Dietrich was 1 foot away from making a hole-in-one on the final round and posted 4 birdies in a row on the last 4 holes on the course. Dietrich said that he wanted to go to the middle of the green on 16.
Obviously 16, I was just trying to hit it to middle of the green pretty much. I think the adrenaline kind of took over a little bit, and when it went to.
As for world number 1 and 2024 Masters champion Scottie Scheffler, he finished the Open with a score of 9 under after he struggled on the back 9 during his final round. Justin Thomas had a solid tournament by scoring 15 under and finished tied for 6th. Thomas sunk a shot 102 yards out from the pin on the par 4 18th hole to end his time at TPC Scottsdale. Thomas says he hopes he can win the tournament someday.
And I've played well here. I think that's obviously most important, but it's, I haven't gotten what I wanted, and that's that trophy.
Austin Williams, NAZ Sports. They call it the People's Open, and fans flocked over to the par 3 16th and the par 4 18th. Now back over to you, Alyssa.
I've never been before, but it sure looks like fun on hole 16. In other news, NAU's athletic director Mike Marlowe announced his retirement this afternoon, which will be effective February 28, 2025. Marlowe has had a 33-year career in collegiate athletics administration, including the past 7 years with Northern Arizona University.
Speaking of kicks, Phoenix Suns guard Devin Booker created a brand new Nike shoe, the Flagstaff shoe. And you guessed it, he drew inspiration from the beautiful Ponderosa Pines. Like many professional athletes, Booker trains in Flagstaff frequently for the high elevation benefits.
Plus, Booker gifted the brand new shoes to the boys and girls Flagstaff basketball team. They also got to attend the game and go in the locker room at last week's game against the Utah Jazz.
What an awesome experience for those kids. After the break, I adventure in Sedona for our Get Out There segment.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
Recently, I discovered more beauty in Arizona and took a trip down to Sedona to hike to the Birthing Cave.
The Birthing Cave, accessible by the Long Canyon Trail in Sedona, is a popular hiking destination. The hike is about 1.9 miles round trip, but reaching the cave involves a steep incline and some rugged terrain. Birthing Cave is loved by many, and it is safe to say you will rarely be alone while there. People from all around come to see the unique beauty and share stories and memories together. The cave also has a lot of history on how it got its name.
According to locals, the Birthing Cave was used by the women of Hopi and Yavapai tribes during childbirth.
It is believed that the women of the Sinagua tribe also used the cave to protect them from the sun and away from predators so they could give birth peacefully, which is allegedly why it is called the Birthing Cave. However, some others say that the name came from a dripping spring in the back, which over time gave it the look of female anatomy. The trailhead is about an hour drive from Flagstaff, but totally worth the trip for amazing views. Lydia, Schwieters, NAZ Sports.
What an amazing place to hike. Sedona is truly a place you have to see at least once in your life, especially if you live in Flagstaff.
It was a great hike. I'm so glad I got to experience it. We'll have local coverage for you right after the break.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool. Oh, yeah. Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Welcome back. It's been a really busy time for sports lately, hasn't it? Not just professional either. Also locally.
You are totally right, Lydia. Crosstown rivals Coconino and Flagstaff High School girls basketball faced off last night in their final regular season basketball game. Flagstaff defeated Coconino 62-30 to remain undefeated in region play. As for NAU, sports reporter Jazelle Contreras joins us in the studio to give us an update.
Thanks, Alyssa. The NAU men's basketball team fell in a close battle with the University of Montana on Saturday night, 83-80.
NAU men's basketball had a rematch against the University of Montana and fell 83-80 after a tight game Saturday at the Walkup Sky Dome. Through most of the game, it was neck and neck all the way down to the last few seconds. Junior forward Carson Tout scored 15 points and 13 rebounds, clinching his 17th double-double of the season. Junior guard Dylan Baker had 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal. Carson Tout comments how important Dylan Baker's gameplay was that night for the team.
You can always feel who's on the court. You can feel who's having an impact, and you could feel Dylan's presence tonight. And it's a good feeling. You look left and right, and you know 4 dudes got your back.
Montana extended their lead by 6 at halftime and increased that lead to 10 in the second half, but battled back to take the lead on a Trent McLaughlin basket with roughly 10 minutes left in the game. Head coach Shane Bakar mentions how much the crowd affects every game in each of their players' performance.
Well, I mean, if we're being honest here, let's not forget when we got here, there are hundreds of people at these games. You know, I mean, there's an echo when you yell in a building. So, you know, I think that with the character of our guys, that makes us feel good about it. And the guys who've been here, we've got 8 guys who've been in this program for 3 years, and they've seen this shift with our crowd and the community.
The game was back and forth down the stretch. NAU had a chance to take the lead on a last-second three-pointer, but the shot was off, and Montana escaped with their 6th straight win and a share of the Big Sky Conference lead. Jazelle Contreras, NAZ Sports.
The NAU men's team will be on the road this week to Portland State on Thursday, February 13th. They will be returning home on the 20th for their matchup against Idaho. Now back to you guys on the desk.
Thank you, Jazelle. And thank you all for joining us on this edition of The Overtime.
I would like to thank our sports reporters, Austin Williams, and I'd also like to thank my co-host, Lydia Schwieters. I'm Alyssa Munoz, and we'll see you next Tuesday for the next edition of The Overtime.